Daeho Kim stood in the Great Hall of the Galactic Council. The room was bigger than any building he had ever seen. Crystal walls reached up so high that clouds formed near the ceiling. Strange lights danced through the air like living things. He was Earth's first ambassador to the stars, and his hands shook just a little. Around him sat creatures from 800 different worlds. Some looked like giant insects with too many arms. Others were made of gas that glowed blue and green. The oldest ones looked like walking mountains made of stone and metal. They all watched him with eyes that held the wisdom of millions of years. "Welcome, humans of Earth," said a voice that seemed to come from everywhere at once. The speaker was Veltharion, the Council Prime. His body was like liquid silver that kept changing shape. "Today marks a great day for our galaxy. Your species joins our peaceful union of worlds." Daeho bowed as he had practiced. "We are honored to be here. Earth looks forward to learning from your wisdom." The silver being flowed closer. "And we have much to teach. But first we must discuss your role in our great community. Every species brings something special. Your gift is already clear to us." Behind Daeho, Dr. Bo-Ram Lee adjusted her tablet. She was Earth's best scientist when it came to studying alien life. The Council had sent them detailed files about the biology of different species. Something about the numbers bothered her, but she could not put her finger on what. "Your world is rich with soil and water," Veltharion continued. "Your people have green thumbs, as you say. You grow food better than any species we have met. This is your sacred gift to the galaxy." The hall filled with sounds that might have been applause. Clicks, hums, and musical tones came from hundreds of different throats. Daeho felt proud. Earth would feed the stars. "We offer you a trade that will benefit all," the Council Prime said. "Transform your world into the galaxy's garden. Grow food for the 12,000 worlds that need it. In return, we give you medicine that will end all disease, energy systems that will never run out, protection under galactic law." Tae-Jin Park stood near the back of the human group. He had been a general before becoming a security advisor. His eyes moved constantly, noting exits, defensive positions, and potential threats. The aliens seemed friendly, but something felt wrong. The welcome was too perfect, too planned. "What kind of food do you need?" Daeho asked. Several aliens exchanged what might have been looks. "Many different types," said a creature that looked like a tree with too many branches. "Grains, fruits, vegetables, and protein sources. Lots of protein." Bo-Ram Lee frowned at her tablet. The alien biology files showed that most council species ate meat. A lot of meat. But the math did not add up. If Earth was supposed to feed 12,000 worlds, they would need protein farms bigger than continents. "How much food are we talking about?" she asked. "Enough," Veltharion said quickly. "We will provide the technology. Advanced farming machines. Genetic modification tools. Your people will barely need to work. The machines will do everything." "What about our cities?" Tae-Jin asked. "Our factories. Our military?" The silver being's form rippled. "Why would you need those? In our community there is no war. No conflict, only peace and cooperation. Your weapons will become farming tools. Your soldiers will become gardeners." The human delegation looked at each other. It sounded like paradise. No more wars. No more hunger. Advanced technology that would solve all their problems. "We need time to discuss this with Earth," Daeho said. "Of course," Veltharion agreed. "Take all the time you need. But know that this offer will not wait forever. The galaxy has many needs and we must fill them somehow." After the ceremony, the humans were given rooms in the council station. Bo-Ram Lee spread her files across her bed and started working. The biological data the aliens had given them filled hundreds of pages. Details about dietary needs, metabolic rates, and population numbers for every species. She ran the numbers again and again. Something was very wrong. "The math does not work," she told Daeho when he came to check on her. "Look at this. The Vithrak have 6 billion individuals across 400 worlds. According to their files, each one eats 50 pounds of protein every day." "That is a lot," Daeho admitted. "It is impossible," Bo-Ram said. "Even if we turned every inch of Earth into protein farms, we could not produce enough. And that is just one species. There are 846 others." Tae-Jin joined them. He had been walking the halls of the station, observing. "I found something strange, too. This place is designed like a fortress. Every corridor has defensive positions. Every room has multiple exits. These people are not as peaceful as they claim." "Maybe they have enemies we do not know about," Daeho suggested. "Maybe," Tae-Jin said. Or maybe they are the enemy. Boram pointed to another section of the data. Look at this. Historical records of other agricultural worlds. 34 different species have held this role before us. Where are they now? Deho asked. Boram was quiet for a long moment. Gone. The records say they completed their service and moved on to other roles. But there are no details. No follow-up reports, nothing. The three humans looked at each other. The offer from the Galactic Council suddenly did not seem as wonderful. What do we do? Deho asked. We go back to Earth, Taejin said. We tell them everything. The good and the bad. Let humanity decide. 3 days later, they boarded their small ship for the journey home. As they left the council station, Veltharion sent them a final message. Do not take too long to decide, the silver being said. The galaxy is hungry and it must be fed. The trip back to Earth took 2 weeks. During that time, Boram kept working on the alien data. The more she studied it, the more worried she became. The protein requirements were not just high, they were specific. Very specific. When they finally reached Earth, news crews surrounded them at the landing site. The whole world wanted to know about humanity's first contact with aliens. Deho smiled and waved for the cameras. We have been offered a great honor, he announced. The chance to help feed the galaxy. The crowds cheered. Earth's leaders called it the greatest day in human history. But in quiet rooms, away from the cameras, the real discussions began. Something is wrong, Boram told the emergency session of world leaders. The numbers do not add up. The requirements are impossible to meet through normal farming. What are you suggesting? Asked the president. Boram hesitated. Her theory sounded crazy, but the evidence was clear. I think they want to farm us, she said quietly. The room went silent. Then everyone started talking at once. Outside, the celebration continued. Humanity had joined the galactic community. The age of isolation was over. But for a few people in that quiet room, a terrible suspicion was taking root. The galaxy was hungry. And maybe Earth was not meant to be the cook. Maybe Earth was meant to be the meal. 3 years had passed since humanity joined the Galactic Council. Earth looked very different now. Where cities once stood, massive farming complexes stretched to the horizon. Giant machines worked day and night, tending crops that fed distant worlds. The sky was filled with transport ships carrying food to the stars. So-Min Choi drove her small vehicle between the endless rows of alien plants. She was a reporter, and something about the new Earth bothered her. People were disappearing. Not all at once, but slowly. Family members would get reassigned to distant farms and never contact home again. It's for the greater good, officials always said. The galaxy needs feeding. But So-Min had been keeping track. In her home city of Seoul, over 50,000 people had vanished in the past year. All relocated to remote agricultural zones, according to the records. But when she tried to visit these places, armed guards turned her away. Dr. Boram Lee worked in Research Station 7, deep in what used to be the Amazon rainforest. Her job was to study the alien livestock they were raising. The creatures looked strange, hairless, pink, and about the size of large pigs. They grew fast and produced a lot of meat. The aliens had been very specific about how to care for these animals. Special food, special temperatures, even special music that supposedly made the meat taste better. Boram found it odd, but she followed the instructions until the day she decided to run a genetic test. She took a small sample of tissue from one of the livestock. The machines the aliens had given them could analyze any genetic code in the galaxy. Boram expected to see some exotic alien DNA pattern. Instead, she saw something that made her heart stop. The genetic markers were human. Boram ran the test again, then a third time. The results never changed. The livestock in the pens were not animals at all. They were people, humans who had been changed somehow but still human at the genetic level. Her hands shaking, she ran tests on the other livestock in nearby pens. All human, every single one. Boram grabbed her communication device and sent an encrypted message to a secure network that had grown up among suspicious humans. The message was short. They're not animals. They're us. Captain Yujin Han received the message aboard the Earth defense ship Harmony. It was one of only 12 ships left in Earth's space fleet. The Galactic Council had said weapons were unnecessary now that Earth was under their protection. Most of humanity's military had been disbanded, but Yujin had kept a few ships hidden. Call it military instinct or paranoia. Either way, she was glad she had. The encrypted network had been sharing information for months. Missing people. Strange cargo ships leaving Earth in the middle of the night. Families who got phone calls from relatives saying goodbye before disappearing forever. Now Boram's message made it all clear. Yujin called together the captains of the other hidden ships. "We need to investigate the processing plants," she told them. The ones in the restricted zones. Minister Jinwoo Seo sat in his office in the new Earth Council liaison building. He had been humanity's main contact with the aliens for 3 years. He thought he was helping his species thrive in the galactic community. Then Boram's research reached him. The folder on his desk contained genetic tests, shipping records, and surveillance photos. The evidence was overwhelming. The Galactic Council had not made humanity farmers. They had made humanity the food. Jinwoo stared at shipping manifests that listed human livestock by weight and grade. Premium cuts went to the Council homeworlds. Standard grades were distributed to colony worlds. Even the bone meal was sold to industrial planets. His hands trembled as he read a price list. Young humans commanded higher prices. Children were considered a delicacy. The elderly were processed into food paste for working-class aliens. The communication device on his desk buzzed. Veltharion wanted a progress report on the latest harvest quotas. Jinwoo did not answer. Captain Yu Jin Han's ship approached processing plant Delta 7 in the dead of night. The facility was enormous, covering several square kilometers. According to official records, it processed alien livestock for export. Sensors detect human life signs inside, reported her navigator. Thousands of them. Are they workers or? Yujin could not finish the question. Based on the containment patterns, I'd say they're the product. Yujin authorized a stealth infiltration. A team of volunteers, led by Agent Hyejin Kwan, entered the facility through maintenance tunnels. What they found inside was worse than anyone had imagined. Endless rows of pens held humans in various states. Some had been drugged to keep them docile. Others had been surgically modified to grow faster or produce more meat. Children were kept in special nurseries being fattened for eventual processing. "My God," whispered Heejin as she recorded everything with her camera. "How many are there?" "This is just one facility," her teammate replied. "There are dozens of these across the planet." They reached the main processing floor. Conveyor belts carried unconscious humans toward machines that butchered them with industrial efficiency. The meat was packaged in containers marked with alien symbols, shipping labels for distant worlds. Hyejin's camera captured everything. The horror of it made several team members sick, but they kept recording. The evidence had to reach the outside world. As they prepared to leave, alarms began blaring. Security forces were converging on their position. Not human security, but alien guards with energy weapons. "Move," Heejin shouted. The team fought their way out, carrying footage that would change everything. Back at Research Station 7, Boram had made another discovery. She had hacked into the Council's historical databases and found records of the 34 species that had served as agricultural worlds before humanity. Every single one had gone extinct. The pattern was always the same. A species would be recruited to feed the galaxy. They would transform their world into farms. Population controls would be implemented to manage the workforce. Slowly, the workers would disappear into processing facilities. Within 50 to 100 years, there would be nothing left but empty worlds and shipping records. Humanity was not the first species to be tricked. They were just the latest. Dr. Yunji Bei worked in a secret laboratory beneath the ruins of Seoul. She was part of a growing resistance movement that had been studying alien technology. What she found gave her hope and terror in equal measure. The aliens were advanced, but they were not creative. Their technology followed predictable patterns based on logic and efficiency. Human brains, however, worked differently. They could find solutions that alien minds could not imagine. "Look at this," she told General Hyun Soo-nam, who had become the Resistance's military leader. "Human neural patterns create quantum effects when interfaced with their computers. We can do things with their technology that they never intended." "What kind of things?" Nam asked. "Control their ships, override their security systems, maybe even turn their weapons against them." It was a slim hope, but it was something. The resistance began growing rapidly as the truth spread. Secret meetings were held in abandoned buildings. Hidden laboratories worked to understand alien technology. Weapons were gathered and hidden, but they faced an impossible enemy. The Galactic Council had fleets that could destroy planets. They controlled space around Earth, and they were already harvesting humanity faster than anyone had realized. "How long do we have?" asked President Sujin Park during a clandestine meeting of world leaders. Boram consulted her calculations. "Based on current harvesting rates and historical patterns, maybe 5 years. 10 if we're lucky." The room went quiet. 10 years to fight an enemy that controlled 800 worlds. 10 years to save a species that did not even know it was on the menu. "Then we better get started," said General Nam. Outside, the alien ships continued their regular flights, carrying Earth's bounty to distant worlds. But now humanity knew what that bounty really was. The deception was over. The real war was about to begin. The underground tunnels beneath New Tokyo buzzed with activity. General Hyun-Soo Nam walked through corridors carved from solid rock, past laboratories and weapon storage areas. The resistance had grown from a handful of suspicious people to a global network of thousands, but they were still ants fighting giants. "Show me what we have," Nam said to Captain Eugene Han as they entered the main command center. Eugene pulled up holographic displays showing Earth's remaining military assets. 12 ships that the Council doesn't know about. Maybe 30,000 trained soldiers worldwide. Some alien technology we've managed to steal or reverse engineer. Against 800 species with fleets that could glass the planet, Nam said grimly. "Unless we get creative." Dr. Yoon-ji Bae joined them at the central table. She looked tired but excited. For weeks she had been working with teams around the world to understand alien technology. "I have good news and bad news," she said. "The bad news is that their weapons are centuries ahead of ours. One of their destroyers could wipe out our entire fleet without breaking a sweat." "And the good news?" Nam asked. Yoon-ji smiled. "Their computers are stupid." She activated a holographic display showing the inside of an alien brain. "Look at this. Alien minds evolved to be efficient and logical. They think in straight lines. Cause and effect, problem and solution. So human brains are chaos machines. We make random connections. We have intuition. We solve problems in ways that make no logical sense." Yoon-ji pulled up another display. "When we interface human neural patterns with their quantum computers, something amazing happens." The display showed test results from their captured alien equipment. Human operators could not just use alien technology. They could improve it. Make it do things its original designers never imagined. "We're not just learning to use their tools," Yoon-ji explained. "We're making their tools better, faster, deadlier." Specialist Min-ho Jong worked in the Cyber Warfare Division, 3 levels down from the main command center. He was humanity's best hacker, and he had been very busy. "I'm inside their communication networks," he reported to Nam during the evening briefing. "The aliens use quantum encryption, but human neural patterns can find backdoors they never knew existed." Min-ho's screens showed intercepted alien communications from across the galaxy. Most of it was routine. Shipping schedules, patrol routes, administrative messages. But some intelligence was pure gold. "The Council is getting worried," Min-ho said. "Human livestock production has dropped by 30% in the last 6 months. They're sending inspection teams. How long do we have?" asked Dr. Sung Hyo, who led the technology reverse engineering teams. "Maybe 2 months. Maybe less," Sung Hee nodded grimly. She had been working day and night to understand alien ship designs. Her teams had managed to capture a small Council patrol craft 6 months ago. What they learned from it changed everything. "Their ships are powerful, but they're designed by committee," she explained to the assembled resistance leaders. 800 different species, each contributing their own ideas. "The result is technology that works, but it's not optimized." "What does that mean for us?" Nam asked. "It means we can build better ships using their own technology. Ships designed by chaotic human minds instead of logical alien committees." The Resistance had been building such ships in secret facilities around the world. They looked nothing like traditional human or alien vessels. They were wild, asymmetrical things that seemed to violate every rule of engineering. But they worked. More importantly, they worked in ways alien minds could not predict. Agent Hee-jin Kwan returned from another infiltration mission with disturbing news. She had managed to access a major processing facility in what used to be the African savannah. "They're accelerating the harvest," she reported. "Instead of taking people gradually, they're emptying entire cities. São Paulo is gone. Mumbai is half empty. They're not even bothering to hide it anymore." The room fell silent. The aliens were no longer maintaining the pretense of agricultural relocation. They were moving to full-scale livestock collection. "How long until someone notices?" asked Counselor Jae Sung-yoon. Yoon led a faction within the resistance that still believed in diplomatic solutions. He thought that revealing humanity's true capabilities might earn them respect in the galactic community. "The global media is still controlled by council-friendly governments," Hyejin replied. "They're calling it voluntary relocation for galactic service, but the truth is spreading through underground networks." "Then maybe it's time to make contact," Yoon suggested. "Show them what we've learned. Demand better treatment." General Nam shook his head. "They've killed 34 other species. We're not special. We're just next on the menu." The argument had been going on for months. Diplomacy versus war. Negotiation versus resistance. Dr. Sung-hee had news that might settle the debate. "I found something in the alien databases," she said, activating a new display. Historical records of what happened to species that tried to negotiate. The hologram showed the fate of the Kepler 442b civilization. They had discovered the truth about their agricultural role and tried diplomatic contact. Their planet was sterilized within a week. "The Council doesn't negotiate with livestock," Sung-hee said quietly. Commander Ji-hai Shin led humanity's first major offensive operation. Her target was a Council enforcement vessel patrolling the outer solar system. The mission had two goals: capture alien technology and test human capabilities in real combat. Her ship, the Defiance, looked like something built by insane engineers. Its hull twisted in impossible curves. Its weapon systems made no logical sense. Even its crew stations were designed around human neural interfaces rather than traditional controls. "Contact with target vessel," reported her navigator, Woo Jin-ko. The alien ship was sleek and deadly, a product of advanced civilization. It outgunned the Defiance by every metric. It also never had a chance. Shin's human crew interfaced directly with their ship's systems. Their chaotic thinking patterns overwhelmed the alien vessel's predictive computers. Weapons that should have hit their target went wide. Shields designed to stop conventional attacks failed against quantum effects generated by human intuition. "Boarding party away," Shin announced as human Marines crossed to the alien ship. The aliens inside were confident at first. Their personal weapons were superior. Their armor was better. They had centuries of combat experience, but they had never fought humans before. Human soldiers did not follow predictable patterns. They took risks that seemed insane. They cooperated in ways that alien tactical computers could not model. Within minutes, the alien crew was overwhelmed. "Ship secured," reported Marine Captain Dongwoo Lim. "Prisoners taken for interrogation." The captured vessel provided humanity with its first intact alien warship. More importantly, it proved that humans could win. Back on Earth, the resistance faced a betrayal. Turncoat Hansol Cha had been secretly feeding information to the Council. He believed that cooperation was humanity's only hope for survival. "They've been planning this for months," he told his Council contact, a insectoid Vithrak named Sekthor. "Ships hidden throughout the solar system. Weapons facilities underground. They even captured one of your patrol vessels." Sekthor's compound eyes focused on the human traitor. "Show us everything." The betrayal almost destroyed the resistance. Council forces launched surprise attacks on hidden facilities. Thousands of humans died in the raids, but Captain Dongwoo Lim and his team made a sacrifice that saved the operation. They detonated explosives that destroyed the main Council intelligence center on Earth, along with themselves. Their sacrifice bought the resistance time to relocate and regroup. "We can't wait any longer," General Nam told the emergency council meeting. "The aliens know about us now. They'll be coming in force. On how long do we have?" asked President Soo-jin Park. "Days, maybe a week." Dr. Yoonji pulled up tactical displays showing Council fleet movements. "They're bringing the big ships. Planet killers. Once they arrive, hiding won't be an option." The room was quiet as the reality sank in. The resistance had hoped for years to prepare. Now they had days. "Then we changed the plan," Nam said. "Instead of defending Earth, we attack them." "Attack who?" Yoon asked. "They have 800 worlds. We attack the Council itself. Cut off the head of the snake. It was an insane plan. Humanity's tiny fleet against the combined might of galactic civilization. But as Dr. Yoonji had proven, insane plans were exactly what human minds did best. "When do we launch?" Captain Yujin Han asked. Nam looked around the room at the faces of humanity's last hope. Scientists and soldiers, diplomats and hackers, people who had chosen to fight rather than become food. Tomorrow, he said, before they can bring enough ships to stop us. The Resistance had 48 hours to launch an attack that would either save humanity or end it forever. In the tunnels beneath Earth's cities, the final preparations began. Admiral Young Sik Che floated in the command center of humanity's secret fleet. The ships were hidden in the asteroid belt, disguised as mining equipment and space debris. Each vessel was a masterpiece of human engineering, ugly, illogical, and absolutely deadly. Fleet status report, he ordered. Captain Haewon Jung, commanding the flagship Retribution, responded first. All systems operational. Neural interfaces are calibrated. Crew is ready. One by one, the other ship commanders checked in, 47 vessels in total. Against the Council's thousands of ships, it seemed hopeless. But these were not ordinary ships. Each vessel incorporated hybrid technology that combined alien engineering with human creativity. More importantly, they were controlled by human neural interfaces that could think in ways alien computers could never predict. Remember, Che addressed his fleet commanders, we're not trying to win a fair fight. We're trying to win an unfair one. On Earth, Inquisitor Zeth Moran of the Vithrek Empire inspected the processing facilities with growing suspicion. The latest harvest numbers were terrible. Entire regions that should have produced thousands of tons of human meat were coming up empty. Where are the livestock? He demanded of the facility supervisor. The human supervisor, one of the Council collaborators, nervously checked his reports. There have been technical difficulties. Some of the stock was contaminated and had to be destroyed. Seth Moran's insect eyes fixed on the man. After centuries of harvesting livestock species, he knew when he was being lied to. Show me the contaminated areas, he ordered. What he found were empty pens and cold processing lines. Signs of recent habitation, but no actual humans. Someone had been moving the livestock before the harvesters arrived. Send word to the Council, Seth Moran told his aide. This world requires immediate investigation. Full enforcement protocols. Dr. Kang-Jun Lee worked frantically in his underground laboratory. The captured Council ship had provided him with intact alien technology to study. What he found was both encouraging and terrifying. Their weapons are incredibly powerful, he explained to General Nam, but they're also incredibly stupid. They fire in predictable patterns based on targeting algorithms that assume logical evasion. What does that mean? Nam asked. It means if we act crazy enough, they'll miss. Kang-Jun activated a holographic display showing weapon trajectories. More importantly, human neural interfaces can override their targeting systems. We can literally turn their weapons against them. The breakthrough had come from analyzing how human brains interacted with alien computer systems. Where alien minds followed logical pathways, human consciousness created quantum effects that could rewrite alien programming in real time. We're not just using their technology, Kang-Jun continued. We're making it evolve. Every human who interfaces with an alien system improves it in ways the original designers never imagined. President Soo-Jin Park addressed the secret assembly of world leaders one final time. Most governments had been infiltrated by Council collaborators, but a core group of officials had managed to maintain independence. In 6 hours, our fleet launches, she announced. This may be humanity's last chance. If we fail, our species dies. The plan was audacious beyond reason. Instead of defending Earth, humanity would strike at the heart of the Galactic Council itself. Simultaneous attacks on Council homeworlds, communication hubs, and command centers. The aliens expect resistance from a primitive agricultural world, Park continued. They don't expect an attack that threatens their entire civilization. Around the room, the faces of Earth's leaders showed fear and determination in equal measure. They were about to order their species into a war that would end with either freedom or extinction. What if we lose? Asked one general. Then we lose as free humans, Park replied. Not as livestock. The Resistance faced a final crisis when Counselor Jae Sung-yoon attempted to contact the Galactic Council directly. He still believed negotiation was possible. I can't let you do this, he told General Nam during a heated confrontation. You'll get everyone killed. They're going to kill everyone anyway, Nam replied. At least this way we die fighting. Yoon pulled a communication device trying to send a message to Council forces. Before he could complete the transmission, Agent Hyojin Kwan stunned him with an energy weapon. "Secure him," Nam ordered. "We can't afford betrayal now." It pained him to treat a fellow human as an enemy, but the stakes were too high for sentiment. Captain Ji-hai Shin received her final mission briefing aboard the assault ship Vengeance. Her target was the Council's primary communication relay in the Centauri system. "Intelligence suggests this facility coordinates all Council military operations," Admiral Che explained. "If we can take it out, we blind their entire fleet." The mission was a suicide run. The relay was protected by defensive platforms that could destroy whole fleets. Shin's single ship would be facing impossible odds. "Understood, Admiral," she replied. "We'll get it done." Her crew was entirely volunteer. Every person aboard knew they were unlikely to return, but they also knew their sacrifice might save their species. Dr. Mi Kyung-yu made a final breakthrough in the hours before launch. She had been working on ways to interface human consciousness directly with alien infrastructure. "I can do more than just control their ships," she told the assembled commanders. "I can access their entire network. Banking systems, power grids, life support on their home worlds." The implications were staggering. If she could infiltrate galactic infrastructure, humanity could hold the entire Council civilization hostage. "How many targets can you hit simultaneously?" Admiral Che asked. "All of them," she replied. "Every connected system in Council space. Their own technology will become our weapon." Specialist Wu Jin-ko led the elite cyber warfare team that would support Mi Kyung's infiltration. They had spent months mapping Council computer networks and identifying vulnerabilities. "Their cybersecurity is strong against conventional attacks," he explained, "but they've never faced human intuition applied to quantum hacking. We can find backdoors they don't even know exist." The team had developed viruses that could spread through alien systems like wildfire. Each virus was designed by human creativity to behave in ways alien antivirus systems could not predict. As launch approached, final messages went out to resistance cells worldwide. Hidden weapons caches were activated. Sabotage teams prepared to strike at remaining Council facilities on Earth. "This is it," General Nam announced to the Global Resistance Network. "After today, everything changes. Either we win our freedom, or we die trying." The response was immediate and overwhelming. Thousands of voices from every continent confirmed their readiness. Humanity's last gamble was about to begin. Admiral Young Sik Che stood on the bridge of his flagship as the fleet prepared to leave their hiding places. Around him, his crew worked with quiet efficiency. They all knew the odds. They all knew they were probably going to die, but they also knew that no human would ever serve as livestock again. Fleet commanders, "Report status," Che ordered. One by one, the captains of humanity's last hope confirmed their readiness. Ships that looked like they had been designed by madmen. Weapons that violated every principle of logical engineering. Crews whose minds worked in ways alien computers could never understand. "All ships report ready for departure," Captain Young announced. Che looked at the tactical display showing Council fleet movements. The aliens were bringing massive forces to crush what they thought was a small rebellion. They expected to find desperate humans hiding behind primitive defenses. Instead, they were about to meet an enemy they could not comprehend. "Signal the fleet," Che ordered. "Begin the attack." Across the solar system, human ships emerged from their hiding places. The war for humanity's survival had begun. On Earth below, the final resistance operations commenced. Council facilities exploded in coordinated strikes. Collaborator networks found themselves under attack by people they had thought were helpless. Livestock. The galaxy was about to learn that humanity's greatest weapon was not technology or numbers, it was the absolute refusal to be anything other than human. The Council enforcement fleet dropped out of hyperspace expecting to find a beaten agricultural world. 3 massive dreadnoughts and 20 escort vessels. Enough firepower to glass a planet. Admiral Velkoth of the Kronari Empire commanded from his flagship. Confident that this would be a simple police action. Instead, they found Admiral Young Sik Che's fleet waiting for them. "Unknown vessels. Identify yourselves," Velkoth transmitted. The human ships looked wrong somehow. Ugly. Asymmetrical. Like something built by children playing with scrap metal. "This is Admiral Che of the Human Defense Fleet," came the reply. "You are not welcome here." Velkoth's stone-like features showed what might have been amusement. "Human Defense Fleet? We have 40 ships. You have— What, 20? Surrender now and your processing will be quick. Admiral Che's response was broadcast across the galaxy through hijacked Council communication networks. Every world, every species, every member of the Galactic Council heard his words. No. The battle began 17 minutes later. The Council ships opened fire with weapons that could crack moons. Energy beams lanced through space toward the human fleet, and missed. Captain Heiwan Jung piloted the flagship Retribution like a drunken dancer. Her neural interface with the ship's systems created quantum effects that made her movements impossible to predict. Council targeting computers tried to calculate her position and failed every time. Around her, the human fleet moved in patterns that violated every principle of space combat. They scattered when they should have grouped together. They charged when they should have retreated. They fought like chaos itself given form. The Council ships, controlled by logical minds following efficient algorithms, could not adapt. What are they doing? Demanded Velkoth as his weapons missed target after target. They're being irrational, Admiral, his tactical officer reported. Their movements make no strategic sense. Then predict their next irrational move. I cannot, sir. Irrationality is unpredictable by definition. Human ships danced between energy beams that should have vaporized them. Their own weapons, guided by human intuition rather than targeting computers, found gaps in Council shields that mathematical analysis said did not exist. The first Council ship died when Commander Do Hyun Park flew his vessel directly into its reactor core. The explosion took out 2 other Council ships and crippled a 4th. Kamikaze attacks, Velkoth muttered. They're sacrificing themselves for no strategic gain. He was wrong. Park's sacrifice had created an opening that Captain Young exploited immediately. The Retribution dove through the gap, its human-designed weapon system interfacing directly with the enemy ship's computers. What happened next terrified every alien in the galaxy who witnessed it. Young's ship took control of the Council dreadnought's weapons and turned them against its sister ships. The mighty warship began firing on its own fleet, its systems completely overridden by human neural patterns. How is this possible? Velkoth shouted. His answer came as his own weapon systems turned against him. Human consciousness interfaced with alien technology rewrote the ship's programming in real time. The dreadnought's massive guns rotated to target his bridge. The Council fleet lasted 17 minutes. When the battle ended, 3 dreadnoughts drifted as lifeless hulks. 20 escort ships were either destroyed or captured. Thousands of years of alien military superiority had been shattered by chaotic human minds. But the real war was just beginning. Captain Heiwan Jung broadcast from the captured Council flagship. Her message went out across the galaxy through every communication network, every data relay, every connected system. The aliens had built a galactic internet, and humanity had just taken control of it. People of the galaxy, Jung announced, we are humanity. For 3 years you have been told we are your farmers. You have been lied to. Images flooded the galactic networks, processing facilities full of human livestock, shipping manifests listing people by weight and grade, price lists for human children. We are not your farmers, Jung continued. We are your food, and we know it. The revelation shook the galaxy. 800 species had participated in consuming 34 entire civilizations. Most had never questioned where their protein rations came from, but Jung's message was not finished. You tried to make us food, she said. Instead, you made us angry. Our answer to your deception is one word: no. On the Council homeworld of Vythric Prime, Inquisitor Zeth Moran watched in horror as his planet's defense systems turned against the population. Human neural patterns, transmitted through quantum communication relays, were taking control of infrastructure across Council space. Impossible, he whispered as his own security forces began hunting him with weapons he had trusted for centuries. Dr. Mi-kyung, you had achieved the impossible. From her hidden bunker on Earth, her consciousness interfaced with galactic infrastructure on a scale never before imagined. Banking systems, power grids, military networks, transportation hubs, all of it belonged to humanity now. I have control of 200 Council worlds, she reported to General Nam. Their own technology is turning against them. The Galactic Council convened an emergency session, but their chambers had been compromised. Human-controlled security systems sealed the exits. Air recycling systems began reducing oxygen levels. Even the lights flickered in patterns that spelled out messages in human languages. "What do they want?" demanded Council Prime Veltharion, his silver form rippling with panic. The answer came from Specialist Ginny No, leader of humanity's elite hacking teams. Her image appeared on every screen in the council chambers. "We want you to understand what you created," she said. "You thought we were livestock, animals to be harvested. You never bothered to really study us." Images flashed on the screens: human art, human music, human literature. The chaotic creativity that had allowed humanity to overcome alien technology in ways its designers never imagined. "We are not logical like you," Ginny continued. "We are not efficient. We are not predictable. We are the universe's way of solving problems that logic cannot handle." General Hyun Soo Nam addressed the galaxy from the captured council facility on Earth. Behind him, alien prisoners sat in cells that had once held human livestock. "You killed 34 species before us," he said. "You turned them into food and forgot they ever existed. But we remember them. Their names are written in our databases now. Their stories will be told." The holographic displays showed the extinct civilizations, the Kepler species who had tried diplomacy, the Tau Ceti builders who had surrendered peacefully, the Ross 128 explorers who had believed in council justice, all gone, all consumed. "You cannot negotiate with us," Nam continued. "We are not interested in treaties or peace talks. We have seen what happens to species that trust you." Across the galaxy, council fleets found themselves helpless. Their own ships turned against them, controlled by human neural networks that operated in ways alien minds could not comprehend. Weapons designed to destroy planets became tools of liberation as human consciousness spread through every connected system. Admiral Young Sik Che stood on the bridge of what had once been the most powerful ship in the council fleet. Around him, his human crew operated alien technology with an intuitive understanding that amazed even them. "Status report," he ordered. "All major council worlds are under our control," Captain Young reported. "Their military networks have been compromised. Their infrastructure belongs to us. Casualties, minimal on our side. We're not trying to kill them all, just make them understand they're not in charge anymore." It was true. Humanity had not launched a war of extermination. Instead, they had performed the ultimate hack, taking control of an entire galactic civilization without destroying it. The message was clear. If humans could control council technology better than the council itself, who was really the advanced species? On Vithrak Prime, the insect population huddled in their hive cities as human-controlled defense systems kept them imprisoned in their own homes. Food distribution networks, designed by their greatest engineers, now delivered only basic nutrients. The delicacies they had enjoyed for millennia, including human flesh, were no longer available. Inquisitor Zeth Moran found himself in a cell that had been designed to hold livestock. The irony was not lost on him. A human guard approached his cage. It was Agent Heejin Kwan, who had infiltrated so many processing facilities. "How does it feel?" she asked. Zeth Moran's compound eyes focused on her with hatred. "You cannot hold an entire galaxy prisoner." "Watch us," Heejin replied. "You held 34 species prisoner until you ate them all. We're just returning the favor." "What do you want?" Heejin smiled. "For you to understand that livestock can fight back. The war ended not with Earth's destruction, but with the galaxy's transformation. Ancient Chronari found their mountain fortresses sealed by their own defense systems. The Nebulon Collective discovered their gas-form beings contained by energy fields of their own design. Every council species faced the reality that their own technology now served human interests. President Sujin Park addressed the galaxy from the former council chambers. The room had been redecorated with memorials to the 34 extinct species. Their names glowed on the walls in letters of light. "We could kill you all," she said simply. "Your own weapons are pointed at your homeworlds. Your life support systems obey our commands. Your food